Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Doug Davidson's Paul Williams returning for murder of Ashland? We don't need an excuse to want to see Doug Davidson back on The Young and the Restless, but when storylines call for the chief of police's involvement, fans remember that Paul Williams is absent from the canvas. Currently, the Genoa City PD is investigating Ashland's accident, and with Ray gone, Chance is heading up the case. However, it's times like these that have fans hoping and praying that we will get a surprise appearance from the longtime CBS soap vet. One of Davidson's Twitter followers, Michael R. Tyler, wanted him to know that he was definitely not forgotten, and that Paul is in the top 5% of Young and Restless greatest characters ever. He went on to express that the heart of the show, which is the fans, is also praying for Paul's return, and wanted Davidson to know that he's an incredibly great actor, and the soap is not now or ever will be the same without him. You are so incredibly kind writing such a sweet tweet. Davidson replied, I truly appreciate it. However, to answer the question if Paul could possibly return anytime soon, he added, I can't see things changing. Other fans agreed. They want to see Paul back too. Though Chance seems to be on the right path in exposing that Ashland's accident wasn't an accident after all, we're not quite sure he has what it takes to take on Victor should new evidence come to light that he staged Ashland's death after he had already died at the hands of Nick. Sure, Christine may turn up and have no issue taking on Victor, but we all know that Paul wouldn't have one either. The town of Genoa City was no stranger to drama, but even seasoned residents had to admit that the Ashland Locke case was on a whole new level. The mystery surrounding the business mogul's death had the whole town buzzing. Was it an accident, a tragic consequence of his reckless behavior, or was it something far more sinister? For months, the case had seemed to stall. The Newmans, with their endless power and resources, had managed to keep the full truth from surfacing. But there were whispers that Ashland's death wasn't as straightforward as it appeared. And in a town where secrets never stayed buried for long, everyone knew it was only a matter of time before the truth came out. When Paul Williams, the former chief of police, unexpectedly returned to Genoa City, heads turned. After a long absence, many had assumed that Paul had left the town's chaos behind for good. His departure had been under mysterious circumstances, with little explanation beyond needing time away from the stress. But now, with the murder investigation hanging over the town like a dark cloud, it seemed like the perfect time for his return. It didn't take long for rumors to fly. Was Paul back for personal reasons, or was this about justice? Could his reappearance be linked to the investigation into Ashland Locke's suspicious death? Paul had always been known as a man of integrity, someone who couldn't resist when justice was on the line. He had spent years solving some of the most complex cases in Genoa City, from kidnappings to murders. And while Paul had his own demons, no one could deny that he was one of the best detectives the town had ever seen. When he walked into the police station, it was as if no time had passed. Ray Roselles, the current detective on the Locke case, looked both surprised and relieved to see Paul. The pressure on the department had been immense, especially with the Newmans breathing down their necks, trying to control the narrative. You back for good, Paul? Ray asked, unable to hide the hope in his voice. Paul gave a small smile, but his eyes were focused. Let's just say I'm here to make sure this case gets the resolution it deserves. Ray nodded. We could use the help. Ashland's death. Something about it doesn't sit right. The autopsy says one thing, but there's more to this. Paul didn't respond immediately, but he could feel the familiar rush of the chase building inside him. He had reviewed the case files, and something about the details screamed foul play. Ashland had been a man with enemies, many enemies, but who among them would go so far as to kill him? And why? As Paul began to dig into the investigation, old faces resurfaced. Victoria, with her steely resolve, wasn't giving anything away, but Paul could tell she was hiding something. Victor Newman, as always, seemed to be 2 steps ahead, playing a game of chess that no one else could quite understand. And then there was Nick, visibly torn between loyalty to his family and his own moral compass. In a town full of secrets and power plays, the truth was never easy to find. But Paul Williams had never been one to back down from a challenge. With Ashlyn Locke's murder hanging in the balance, he knew one thing for sure: no stone would be left unturned. And in Geno City, the return of Paul Williams meant that justice, no matter how delayed, was finally coming.